just wanted to give you guys a quick tour of our new caravan and setup. We've been travelling again for 5 days now, heading up the north of Queensland, and yeah, we thought we'd give you a tour around.
Yeah, so I've got a new car now, a 2014 Ford Ranger, the XLT model, dual cab with a tub and a hard lid cover. Decided to go to an automatic as well from a manual, just because we're towing now, makes life a little bit easier, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Makes it a lot easier around town as well once we have the van set up. Also I can drive it, which helps locks out a lot. But no, so far it's been a very good car, works well for us, and having the dog, he can just sit in the back. But yeah.
And we've also got a brand new 2020 MDC Forbes 12 Plus.
Yeah.
And that's been out of this world. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
How good it is to set up, and
how easy, a lot luxurious compared to our old setup, as you'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alright, well we'll give you a tour of the new van and the new car now, and
show you also some little modifications we've done to the van that are really quite simple and cheap, but has helped us out a lot. So
yeah. And also what I've done to the car to kind of make it capable of towing the van, and yeah,
because it's a lot heavier. What we're pulling this van
2.8 ton.
Yeah, so it's quite heavy. Once you got all the water tanks filled and with all of our stuff, yeah, it's quite a lot to tow. So we'll start from the very end of the van. Here we have our bed, which is a queen long and a king length. It is super wide and comfortable. We literally have no complaints on this bed. It is awesome. If you look under here, it's quite a thick mattress, so literally no complaints. It feels like you're just at home. On both sides we have these little pouches, which really helps. You can put your phone in at night time, or your books, or whatever you want on your side. We've got heaps of windows, and we have our little TV here, which swivels out, and it can actually swivel and face out that window, which was handy for this morning. We were cooking breakfast and we wanted to watch the TV as well. Also under here is a little light, which is so bright, so if you like to read or anything like that at night time, that little light is really handy. Over here we've got a fan on this side. We haven't had to use it yet, but I've had really good reviews on people that do have them, and they say they're really helpful. Also, another one of these lights is here. On this caravan there used to be a bunk bed here, so this van is meant for a small family, but we don't need it, so we took it off and we get the extra space, which really helps. I've got a couch here for me and Lockie, and on this little pole here is a table can be fitted, and that swivels in and out. So if you are stuck inside for the cold weathers or rainy or whatever, you can have a table put inside. Down here is our little diesel heater. It's not noisy at all. We run it on high. You just press this button here, run it on high for 5 minutes to start it, and it's really quiet. Warms the whole van within like 5-10 minutes. Can leave it on overnight. We don't really, because it's not that cold. Also have one of the speakers here, and underneath the couch also is a lot of storage, so that's for all those sort of stuff you don't get to all the time, but you know, still got to put it somewhere. We also have the Dometic air conditioning. Now that's an extra. You can get this with most vans. I think it was about $2,500 to get this one fitted. It's not necessary, but it's quite nice for when you are in those really hot regions. You know, we put it on before and it cooled down the van within 5 minutes. So over here is Lockie's wardrobe space. But up the top here, we've got really all of our vault system and water tanks. So these are our 2 water tanks. So this tells you what level they're on. And this is our grey water tank. So it's currently empty because we are at a caravan park. So it just flows out into the drain, which is nice and easy. And you have your vault system. So when we're not plugged in, the caravan works off 3 solar panels. So you need to keep an eye on that. And we have a little vault system here so we can figure out when, you know, we need to charge it or whatever. So we have this is our fridge and toilet. We constantly leave this one on, obviously, as otherwise your fridge will become hot. This is our diesel heater, hot water pumps, and our DC outlet. So anything that's charging, so the laptop and the drone is on charge at the moment, you have to make sure you switch that on for those to work, and then it draws power from your van, obviously. So over here we just have a few bits and pieces. We've got our cooking sort of stuff and our plates and bowls and everything like that. And then in here we have our pantry, which we can actually reach from the outside, so it's really cool. It's probably my favorite feature of the van actually, and they have really deep stainless steel drawers on them. So we haven't found a problem with it at all. We can fit probably a week's food in here comfortably. Yeah, no issues with that really. The only thing is when you are on a bit of a slant on hill, obviously the drawers open, so you just have to be mindful if your drawers are full. We've got this little nook drawer under here, which I just have some spare gas canisters and some pegs and a little broom. And over here we have another set of cupboards that's just full with like tissues, toilet paper, electronic sort of things. And over here is my wardrobe, and down the bottom here we have Diego's drawer, so that's full of his clothes, food, leads, anything. So it's all together, anything that he needs is in there, which is easy for us. Over here we have our bathroom, so we're lucky enough to have an ensuite in this one. Quite a few models have this actually. It's quite small inside, can easily fit 1 person having a shower, 2 if you need. Hot and cold water system, toiletries there, toilet, and this little cabinet here, which if you open up, I have just filled it with toilet paper and cleaning products, and basically any products to clean the shower or the toilet I've just kept in there. And nothing has fallen on the floor actually when we're on the road, so I thought these big bottles and stuff might end up on the floor, but we haven't had a hassle. It also has its own lights in here and fan, so it hasn't really had an issue with the van. Yeah, you just have to be mindful that when you do have a shower, everything in this space will get wet. I learned that the hard way, so the toilet paper, the towels, I recommend taking them out, just so you don't end up wasting that every single time. And there's another one of these little lights here, which is so bright. Like, that amount of light is ridiculous. If you reading, writing, whatever, so much extra light. Also one here. And then on the side of the van here we have our radio, so you just got to flick that on. You can listen to normal radio or Bluetooth your phone and listen to your own music. There's another speaker here inside and there's 2 outside. We've also got our awning is electric, so this is the control system for the awning. You just have to obviously open, push it forward, and close, push it back. I'm not going to do that now because ours is open. These are a few other little lights. You just flick them on as you need. Here we have our fire extinguisher, which is pretty important to have just in case as a backup. If anything should go wrong, you know, it's just good to have. Another one of these big pouches is here on the front. I've got it just filled with books and pens and that sort of stuff that we need. And yeah, that's basically the inside.
So we're going to start at the front of the van. We'll start with the coupling and all the mods down here. So we've got the DR35 hitch. So that's off-road hitch rated for 3.5 ton. So that allows you to go full momentum 360 degrees when you're going off-road, or if you do roll your van, it won't roll the car with it. We've then got the 12-pin plug, which attaches to the car for your lights and accessories. We've then also got an Anderson plug for charging the batteries in the van from the car's alternator. You got your chains, and we've also got a breakaway system. So if your car ever isn't attached to your van, it will automatically apply the brakes. Then you've got the standard jockey wheel here. We'll then move over here. So we've got on each side a jerry can holder. So you can use that for water, fuel, whatever really. And then we've got our diesel supply here, which is for the diesel heater. So that's a 10-litre little jerry that you top up for your heater, and yeah, it's great. It doesn't use much diesel. We've only probably used a quarter of it in 5 days. And you've got your gas bottles here, so 2 9 kilos, which you plumb from one gas bottle, and it is plumbed all the way to the kitchen for your gas cooker. On this side then you've got your other jerry can, and we've got a secondary water jerry can here as well. We've then got a little compartment for our annex poles, wind up and down to the stabilizers. We put our wheel chocks, we put our stabilizer pads, all that type of little stuff in here that we need to get to when we set up. So we'll come around this side. This is our main kitchen side. We've got our Evercool fridge here on a fridge slide. So that comes out and is a dual zone 80-litre fridge freezer. So we can have both running as a fridge, both running as a freezer, one fridge, one freezer, whatever we want to do. And that just goes back in. And another thing they've added is a little light, so we can touch that on and off as we need it. Then move over to the door and the step. So we've got a door here that allows you to open just the fly screen or have the full security door on there too, depending on what you want to do. We've then got a little step here which just pops up when you're traveling and pops out when you get to camp. Then you've got our outdoor pantry here, which is also available inside, and that's great for when you're cooking out here or outside and you need something, you can just grab it from there. We've then got our awning. So the awning is an electric awning, and it's really easy to set up. You click the button inside and it comes out, and you just hold it as it's coming out to give it a bit of support, and then once it's fully out it will stop, and these little legs can either go in the ground or on the side of the van like we've got it here. We've then got the main kitchen here. There's another little pantry drawer in here, which we've just got paper towels, alfoil, all the little stuff we use when we're cooking. And then the main kitchen setup. So this is a big slide out stainless steel kitchen with a few little drawers in it. So in here we have our herbs and our salt and pepper and oil and that whilst we're cooking. In here is just really the plumbing for the sink, which runs out, and we've got a little bucket here to get all the water from the sink. We've then got hot and cold water, which is pre-plumbed from the hot water system and the water tanks. And there's a plug for that, and then you've also got a drying rack or a spice and holder and whatever you want to use that for. We've then got a 4-burner gas stove. So you've got a few different stoves here. So you get your larger one, your 2 medium, and a smaller one. And they work off the gas at the front, and they're quite good. You've also got your little wind protectors here that come down, slip into that, and give you a bit of wind protection for when you're cooking. And we've also got a little cutlery drawer in here, so it's handy for when you're cooking or need cutlery, and it's just there ready to be used. Around here we have a bottle opener, which is one of our favourite little tools, and a little table that comes out. You can do a bit of preparation on here, use it as a side bench for when you're cooking, whatever really. Now the kitchen slide comes out by itself and can sit there, but when you're using it, it's recommended to put the little leg in just to give it a bit of support for when you're putting weight on it. And then come around the back here. So the hot and cold water is already plumbed, but the gas just needs to be connected to the bayonet here, which then runs all the way to the front to that 9 kilo gas bottle. We've then got outdoor lights, which are for the kitchen when you're cooking and if you're outside, and outdoor speakers for a bit of a party. We've then got the bed that comes out about another metre, and it just comes out with a few different openings. So you've got 2 side doors, base and the back door, and then the top. And they all just fold into each other, and there's a couple of latches to keep the roof down and secured. We've then also got 2 spares on the back, which fold up and sit just behind the bed when it's all folded in. We've got another slide that most people use for a generator or a barbecue or something like that, but we've just got our chainsaw, our fire pit, our camp oven, mesh floor, pads for the outside shower, and all that type of stuff in here. Yeah, and that can come out on a slide too, and you've also got another little touch light there, quite nifty. Then come around and we've got our toilet. So this just comes out, and you've got our little toilet cassette. So you pull it out, take it to a dump point, dump it, and refill it with fresh water and chemicals. And that holds, I think, 20 litres, so that's quite good. Here we've got our 240 volt inlet. So when you're at a caravan park or at home, you want to keep the batteries topped up, plug that in, and that runs off our AC/DC charger inside and keeps them all topped up and charged. Here we've then got our grey water flushing point. So after a while there'll be a bit of stuff in the grey water tank and you'll want to flush it. So you put a bit of chemicals, put a bit of water in there, and that will flush the grey water out when you need to do that. In here we've got a shower. So in here we've got a shower. So you've got your hot and cold tap with your little shower head, and you can use that to wash your feet off or your body off after the beach, or you can set up the shower tent along the tracking here and have a outside shower when you want. That's quite good. Right, here we've got our water. So this is our fill up point for our water tanks, and that's our mains water. So that's for when we want to fill up our 2 freshwater tanks in the van, and that's when we're at a caravan park and we want to use their water supply. Here is a vent for our hot water system. So when we turn the hot water on, this vent heats up a little bit. So just to give it a bit of air, we open this up with a little chain here, and it just allows it to breathe and keep cool while the hot water's on. And we've also got 2 lights on the side of the van here, one for your shower and the other one just for light if you need to come around the side of the van.